I flip watches and make trades, but not these, cause this brand is one of my faves. Yeah, I spied another sleeper, but it goes deeper. Each one is a certified keeper. They're back at it again, another banger. Who else could I be talking about but Van Banner? So just relax and know that we got this, cause I'm Pete and we are chillin' with watches. Yeah, I got bars. What? In all honesty, I was a little self-conscious about putting that out there, but you know what? Who cares? Wrist check, wearing the Doxa Sub 300T. Seeing the new Doxa Army has really inspired me to want to break this bad boy out and reminded me just how great Doxa watches are. Speaking of great watches, we got another sweet one here to check out from Van Banner. This is the AO. Really nice little box they come in here with your cool Van Banner polishing cloth and actually pretty sweet little Van Banner hang tag as well. And I love when brands put this extra little pad in there to keep the case back from getting scratched up by the bracelet and vice versa. But check out this little beauty. It comes in some really wonderful colors. Van Banner kills it when it comes to dials. I have this kind of purple fume. There's a blue and a green. I'll pop those up on screen for you guys to check out. They're all awesome. Very kind of sun ray effect. Their dials are just electric. They always really pop. They kill it on that front. Size wise, these are little 38mm sport watches, and they come in at full retail on their site is $520, I think, but there is a code. I'll pop this up here as well to get them on the voted on price, which is half of that at $260. And at that price, this watch is an absolute steal. I don't know how long that code is expected to last, so if you want one of these, you might want to jump on it. All right, so let's take a closer look at this dial first. It's a beautiful sunray or sunburst. Is there a difference? I don't know what the difference is, but beautiful sunray purple dial. And I don't think it's actually a fume dial, but it always gives me that impression of being darker around the outsides. I think maybe that's just the way the shadows from the case kind of play with the light. It has that effect, but you can see you get all sorts of different gradients of purple depending on the lighting. Markers, it has these kind of remind me of 62 MAS markers, just big, thick rectangles. They're really nice applied. And what I mean by thick is the silver part on the outside is thick, and they're tall, filled with plenty of BGW9 Lume, which we'll look at the end of the video, which looks super cool. Some of my favorite little quirks about this are that curved automatic script there at 6 o'clock and then the 10 ATM down there, normally where you kind of get that Swiss made tagging. I just think it's really neat, and they used all caps and a nice font. I just think it's kind of a really cool detail. I think they made a really nice choice for the handset here as well. Their thickness and length is really well balanced to the hour markers, which I think is important. Kind of like sword hands, I guess is what you would call those. Now the hands are filled with C3, so you're going to get two colors of Lume, which is a pretty sweet little effect. And honestly, I need to get one of these that is modded with an orange second hand, and I will legit have these chilling with watches. Watch? The crystal on this watch is excellent. It is custom made, and I'm not sure, it's not a hi-hat. It's not really a high dome. I guess low dome is kind of the best name I have for it. It kind of reminds me of the shape you'd see of a lot of acrylic crystals, and you do get some distortion there around the edges. Really nice crystal, and I like to think of myself as a kind of eagle-eyed, very observant watch enthusiast, but it took me 2 days to realize what is so awesome about this watch. It has no bezel. It's a bezel-less design. You have a crystal that is pressed right into the case, and it just makes for a very sleek profile. Speaking of the case, it is a great size at 38mm, has a nice tidy lug to lug, which makes it super wearable. Nice shape to it, kind of a continuous curve from one lug tip to the other. Polished on the sides, has kind of a rather coarse brushing on the top of the case. Really nice contrast there. And then has one of the best crowns I have handled in a while. It's a 6mm crown, and you'll notice it's signed not with the Van Banner logo, but with its own logo, the AO logo. And this is just a joy to use. It's a great shape. As you'll see, it's kind of stepped there where you have the coin edge, and then you have that polished ring that's closer to watch, which makes it kind of stand out from the case a little bit. But at 4 o'clock, not a problem. Super easy to use. Nice pop on it, but it almost, I don't know if you can hear this. It snaps into time setting position. So it's just the feedback, the feel is awesome. And it's a true no date movement. So you just have the one position, pops back in, catches its threads. So easy. Just a real joy to manipulate this crown. I really like the shape of that. And I love that it has its own logo, the watch that is. Flipping it over to look at the case back. Now the Parking Master I had a display case back. This has this kind of awesome, deeply etched case back. You'll see that kind of sand grit and then polished with their logo and their name, kind of the movement up there at the top. And if you know anywhere else to get a Miyota 9039 for 260 bucks, let me know. Sapphire and stainless steel, just a really cool case back. And from this view, you can see that the end links are indeed solid end links. It is not drilled lugs. I think they were kind of going for that continuous look on this model. You'll notice they are male end links, so they do extend the lug to lug a little bit, but they're really sharply turned down. I don't find it's an issue, especially with the short lug to lug to begin with. Now the bracelet has, I think I called it an oyster bracelet in my unboxing, but that's not very accurate. This is more like that Omega style kidney bean shaped links. They're really nice. They're shorter than your typical oyster. Starts at 20 millimeters, tapers down to 18 at the clasp. Now the clasp is rather robust, and if I had to find something to nitpick, it might be the clasp. I like a little small, unobtrusive clasp. No issues with this one. The quality on it is great. The fold down is solid, stays down, doesn't move at all. You got a slew of micro adjusts, so you're going to get a good fit. And it has a nice milled out scissor mechanism as well. Now, I mentioned this is running a Miyota 9039, so let's wind her up and throw it on the Timegrapher and see how it's running. And what a super clean trace we're getting here. You can see 0 beat error. That's why we have this one nice, really perfect line. Really nice, healthy amplitude at 286. My particular example seems to have settled in at about +8 or +9 seconds per day. Really nice running watch. Talking numbers, we have a 38 millimeter case, came in at a true 38. It is 45.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip as I measured it. And I know they list it as 11.2 on their site, but I'm telling you when I measured this, it came in at a clean 11. And it has 20 millimeter lugs. Going over some of the other specs, we're looking at a beautiful low dome sapphire crystal. It uses BGW9 Lume on the dial, C3 Lume on the hands. It's running the Miyota 9039 no date movement, and it has 100 meters of water resistance. Now on the bracelet size for my 7¼ inch wrist, it came in at a very wearable 136 grams. I keep talking about how great this thing wears. Here you can see it on my 7¼ inch wrist, and it is a real wrist hugger of a watch. Very comfortable. I love how nice and close it sits to the wrist. Great size. I'm sure this suits many wrist sizes. Really great watch to wear. It's awesome on wrist. Let's take a look at it side by side, some other watches. Starting small and working our way up as we always do. Here it is next to the Smith's Everest PRS 25 at 36 millimeters. And I think you can see the full 2 millimeter difference here, even though the dial to bezel ratios are pretty similar. And the VB is actually a thinner watch than the Smith's is. Moving up just a little bit to another watch in this realm, we have the Traska Commuter, which is I think 36.5. It's a little over 36. Larger dial opening will make this one look closer to the AO's 38 millimeters. Still wears a little smaller than the AO. And I think the AO is actually still thinner than the Traska Commuter as well. Lastly, for another 38 to 38 comparison, this is a Namoki field case that I put a mod in here. And I think these two wear pretty similar. Their bezel to dial ratios are pretty similar. They kind of present as the same from the top down, but that AO just has that killer case shape, and it is thinner overall, just making it much more, probably the most comfortable of all these watches to wear. All right, lastly, we got to check out that two-tone Lume.
Beep the Lume.
And check that out. Lume equally as cool as the Parking Master. Here you can easily see that BGW9 on the hour markers and the green C3 on the hands. Let me move that out of the way. You can see it's reflecting down onto the logo there. That looks super cool. Yeah, great Lume job on this one as well. It's really bright, lasts a long time. There you go, the VBAO. You know, is it weird that I have no idea what AO stands for? Anytime option, always on, another one. I really have no idea, but what more can I say? You guys know I love this watch. It's a great companion piece to the Parking Master. This one is so sleek and comfortable. It's just really a joy to wear. I'm going away this weekend and I'm going to take this watch with me for sure. All right, before I let you guys go, I'm wearing my Jordan 1 mids and that is it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, please like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.